What's up, everybody? It's Psychic Medium Sarah Lumos. Good morning. It's Monday, and I don't even have makeup on because I said, you know what? Today I'm going on as normal old Sarah. No, really, I was just late and had to get a cup of coffee. So, welcome into the office today, where we're going to be talking about all kinds of great stuff. I have been busy. I know so many in the paranormal field lately have just been going. I know that Michigan Paragon finished up this weekend. And I know so many of you were there to say your goodbyes, and so many of you were upset you couldn't make it. And I myself was like, I wish I could have made it. That would have been so awesome. But you know what? There are many amazing Paracons that are coming up in the next few weeks. One of them is this weekend. Well, it's a retreat. And some of you are headed with me. Good morning. Headed to me to Mount Shasta. We're headed to Mount Shasta this weekend. There is something very magical about good morning, Mount Shasta. I really think that there are portals in our landscape. I do think that the earth is magic. I've always thought that since I was a little girl. So for me, when you get to go to places like Mount Shasta or Maui or Sedona, or you get to go to the Appalachians, it's just amazing. It is going to be so awesome. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Yeah, Mount Shasta to me is just always been interesting because I'm a sensitive. So I'm just constantly sensitive. I'm constantly feeling. I'm constantly experiencing, right? And when I drive in, has anyone else felt this driving into Mount Shasta? If you've ever been there, have you ever felt jittery? This is one that I feel every time I get around Mount Shasta is a jitter. It's just like my hands shake on their own. There's such an incredible vibration. Now, some of you guys also might know that there is the headwaters in Mount Shasta. Now, this is where the snow on the top of the mountain, it takes 50 years for it to get to the top of the mountain to the bottom where the water comes out. And it is the most fresh, delicious water you have ever tasted. Um, yeah, some people will get jittery just looking at the pictures. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Hopefully the mic isn't too loud, guys. Make sure that if I'm too loud, you let me know. I tend to be loud anyways, so I don't want to be it's very healing. It is very healing. Um, but I wonder, I'm just throwing it out there, but these places that have these vortexes, do they speed things up? So the only reason I ask that is because it's energy, right? And energy, to me, speeds things up. It heats things up. It cooks things. And so for me, I'm always like, okay, hold on a second. So is this a great place to manifest? And so I'm going to try. Or slow things down. Exactly. No, exactly. Totally agree with you. Could be one or the other. Absolutely. What cup do we got? We got Sarah's cup today. How are you guys doing on your cups? I've been collecting so many Halloween cups lately. I had to say no to one yesterday. I'm running out of space in the cupboard. Mm. So this is going to be an amazing event in Mount Shasta. It is a 2-day event, full. And when I mean full, I mean Jody had me plan it out hour by hour. Jody has her things she's doing. I have my things I'm doing. And it is going to be insane. Now, not so much paranormal. This is more of a spiritual journey. I'm going to be helping you connect with your spirit guides. I'm going to be helping you connect with your spirit animals. I'm going to be talking about vibration and frequency and connection to spirit realm. And Jody is going to be looking at the angelic realm and teaching all kinds of beautiful things about the angelic realm. So this is going to be a 2-day event that is going to be mind-blowing. Now, what I'm not supposed to tell you, there's more coming. Be prepared. Be prepared. There's more coming. So I'm really excited. Can't talk about it just yet, but I can say if you're wanting to be a part of these retreats, there's more coming. And there's more coming to different vortexes around the world, around the United States. So buckle up. Jody and I are not finished with this weekend by any means. So, opportunity to meet up. It's beautiful because Jody's making sure that these events are smaller. I don't know if you've ever been to an event and you feel like I don't know, like you don't ever get seen. No, that may not be something that you experience, but for me, I don't want anybody at my events feeling like they're not seen. I want my friends, I want my family to feel seen. And so it's always been important to me to have smaller events, smaller venues, because I want to be able to be with you guys. I don't want to just talk about being with you guys. I think it's really important, for me to be able to answer questions one on one, things that you might not necessarily want to share with a group. Yes, sometimes feel like I'm in the crowd, right? Pixie, totally get it. And that's where I'm just wanting to change things up with these kind of things and be very, very available. So you guys might also know that I'm headed to Utah. So if you're in the area, I would love it if you could come out and see me. It's going to be at the Phenomicon, the 3rd through the 8th. I'm going to be out in Utah. I am going to be going on all kinds of adventures on my own there and taking you guys along with me, through my different, I might just do everything here through YouTube and take you guys all along with me. It's just going to be a great time. Really excited because as a psychic medium, guys, I don't know how about you feel, but when you're watching television shows and you're like, why don't they have a psychic medium? I used to do that all the time. And I always think that about paracons. I'm like, why don't they have a psychic medium? So this one is amazing because really Phenomicon is really about cryptids. It's a lot about that. And I'm very honored to be asked out to do a gallery reading. Now, if you've never been to one of my gallery readings, it's done very different. And I get through as many people as possible. You may be normally, hey, honey. You may normally say, okay, in a gallery reading, you see about 4 or 5, would you guys say? Normally 4 or 5 readings per group, for the hour. I would say 4 or 5. I get through as many as possible. I'll do like 10 to 12. Um, Yay! And then Gold Country. So then I'm headed to California. So after Utah, I'm headed to California the 13th through the 15th. So again, if you're in the area, please come out, hang out. We are going to be doing also another gallery reading. This one is going to also have some really incredible opportunities for paranormal investigating. Oh, I know it, Jennifer. Jen. More to come on that subject. More to come in the next few weeks that I actually get to share what's going to be happening. Everybody's kind of getting the message here. Yeah. Can't share shit right now, but I'll be sharing some shit later. So that's what's coming up for me in good old September. The end of this month, again, just this weekend, is Mount Shasta, then on to Utah, and then to Gold Country. And then, yes, then on to more and more and more through October. So we got lots of stuff coming up. Some of you guys know I'm taking a break. So I'm taking a break until January. I have some television opportunities that I'm working through right now. And so really wanting to stay focused on that, and also focused on some upcoming, like I said, 2 different television opportunities that I'm really focused on, different projects, but going to definitely be teaching some new classes come January. So many of you guys have been waiting for the advanced mediumship class. And so I am hopefully going to have that done within the next few months. So, and I wish I would have brought my glasses in here. Oh, there's a pair. Good. Um, And the chatting begins with Sarah. So, anyways, I wanted to talk a little bit about something I saw when I was in Ireland. You know, the last few weeks I've been sharing with you guys my Bigfoot experience, my UFO experiences. Um, and now I want to share with you guys a different type of experience and one that I still don't know what to think about it. And again, just because I'm a psychic medium doesn't believe I believe in everything. I don't know about you guys, but just because you guys are spiritualists or into, working with your psychic abilities, not everybody believes in every cryptid, right? I mean, maybe they do. But unless I've had an experience, I personally am like, not until I've experienced it. Like that's just me. And then if I experience it, I'm gonna be very honest about it. I'm very honest about my experience. So let me take you to Ireland with me. I have been blessed to be able to venture over to Ireland 4 different times, believe it or not, in my lifetime, which is just an absolute gift. And I got to work with some incredible individuals over there, which I will never, ever, ever be able to thank Spirit enough for. But we were at this castle, and we were staying in this castle again. As we do when we go over there, we stay in these incredible castles and we go on incredible adventures. Well, one night I decided to go out and with my friend, and who is this incredible sensitive and very, very well known author. And I said, I want to see the fairies. And he says, Are you sure? And then I got scared. And then I was like, yeah, I want to see the fairies. Can I do this? Can I do this? And he's like, oh, you can do it. He's like, but are you sure that's what you want to do? And I said, yes, I think so. So he guided me on a meditation. We were sitting out on a little picnic bench in front of the castle. So all that's lit are the windows. There's no outdoor lighting. So it's just the windows in the castle. And it's very quiet outside the castle because it's made of cement. So it's quiet. And so he has me do this meditation, which was really interesting meditation for those of you that care. This is really weird. Not weird, interesting. Just how to channel your energy and move energy. It was very interesting to see how he had me do this work. And so I started to channel this energy and pull energy in. And then he stood up and said, All right, have a good night. And he left. So I'm sitting out, and this is on acres. So this castle is on acres of land. I have no idea how many acres. It's a large piece of property. I get to say proper. They use proper over there all the time. Proper piece of land. If you know what that means, it's funny. Okay, if you don't, it doesn't make any sense. But hey, anyways, so I turn around and I look into the forest. Now the grass is probably up to your knee. If the grass is probably up to your knee. You know what I mean? So it's overgrown, and there's beautiful trees all over in the distance. And so I'm staring out at this grassy knoll, large property, no people. At this point, there was no one out there except me. And all of a sudden, I started seeing lights, tiny, tiny little lights that kind of just shot up and then popped. So no bug is going to explode itself, just so we're clear. Because at first I was like, could this be lightning bugs? Could this be, like, everything in me was trying to excuse what I was seeing. Every piece of me was saying that has got to be something else. But how would all of a sudden hundreds and hundreds of little lights develop? So at first it was, yeah, it was like a tiny little, but then it exploded into like a firework. So the only way I can explain it is it would be a light and it would shoot up and then it would explode like a firework. That's the only way I can explain it. Um, that's the only way I can explain it. So the light went up and exploded. And uh I started to cry. I became extremely emotional, much like when you're working with the angelic realm. So if you've ever worked with the angelic realm, it immediately, the emotion just took me over. And I heard somebody walking up behind me, but I didn't want to turn around. I didn't want to miss what I was seeing. Whatever it was mesmerizing and it was very emotional. So the chef walked up behind me and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I just pointed." And he goes, "Ah, you're meeting the Fae." And he just stood next to me as I bawled, snot just, I'm sorry guys to be too graphic, but I was a mess. And then two other people walked up, a husband and wife, and asked the chef what we were doing. And he explained watching the Fae. And the wife immediately could see the lights. She was like, "Over there." And we were pointing, all of us were pointing, "Over there, over there." Now, this wasn't one or two guys. What I mean by this was it was like seeing the fireworks on the 4th of July, but in miniature size. Like I said, bugs don't explode. If they do explode, someone tell me and I'll be able to put this away. But what I was seeing was amazing. And me, the chef, and the wife were able to see it. However, the husband got really angry. He's like, "Where? What are you guys doing? What are you talking about?" He just started to get really like frustrated. Like we were putting him on, but we weren't putting him on. We were seeing it. And so we kept pointing and pointing and pointing to the point where he got so frustrated that he walked off. So his wife was like, "Oh, I better go catch up." And they went off. Well, then it started to multiply. And again, you don't have to believe me because I hardly believe what I saw. I mean, by no means am I saying I know exactly what I'm talking about. I can only tell you to come along the adventure with me. That is all I can say here. So, walking and all of a sudden, just start walking. I wasn't walking, standing there, and all of these lights start popping up all over. So now it looks like starry night. It looks like a starry night in the field. And then there's a sound behind us. So we turn around. Well, one thing you don't do, and this is one thing I do know, is you don't turn your back on the Fae. But in the moment, I was emotional. In the moment, I was startled by the noise behind me. In the moment, I didn't make the best decision. So I turned my back, and there was a very big black dog behind me. And it just kept walking. And then me and the chef looked at each other like, what did we do? So we turned around, and this is not a joke. The lights were at our feet. They had moved clear across the field, literally to our feet. So the chef screams, "Get back!" And he stomps. And when he stomps, the lights literally move like they're the ocean. They move back in these wakes. It was insane. Like I said, I can't explain it better than that, other than a starry night, with millions of different lights. Has anyone else out there seen the fairy? Has anyone else? I know some people feel like they get pictures of the fae. Um, I have been on walks where I feel like there are, fairies manipulating vines and things like that. But to see them with my naked eye, and yes, we were able to get pictures. So we were able to get pictures of, what we were seeing. But has anyone else out there seen, it's interesting. Um, I have. I'm in Boulder and I have, you have them. Interesting. I was in the portal in Bush Park and connected with one. Oh, that's awesome. It was during the day, same woods. Okay. So yeah, okay, you know what wins I'm talking about, Kim. That's awesome. Um, my long friend time, wait, my long time friend in message therapy has loved to hear these stories. I have seen something similar, but not such a large scale. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm not wearing my glasses today, so I know I'm reading like crazy, but I met them in Scotland with Chris Fleming. That's awesome. So, I mean, many people have many different feelings around the Fae. Now, I was trained by someone who I really trust, and I don't trust the fairy. I don't trust the Fae. Um, totally get it, Lindsay. So I don't trust the Fae. They're not my friends. Um, and they are to be very much respected in the sense of, from my understanding is they don't care if you live or you die. They're definitely not a dolphin. They're not going to swim up to you. Not that I trust dolphins either. And that's a whole nother story. And unless you travel with me, you'll never get to know. So maybe you should travel with me and know why I don't like those damn dolphins. Anyways, so nope, that's the indifference. They don't care about you. They don't. They don't care about us. They don't have to. They don't have to. It's just and so sometimes people will say, "Well, I'm experiencing something," and they'll explain to me what they think is a haunting and in their home. And a lot of times it is not. A lot of times it is the Fae, and these different energies and deities. Yeah, they really don't care if you live or die. And they do like to have fun. So that depiction of them is very true. I personally don't know if I would put them in the category of trickster, but it would be something like that. Just in the sense, like I said, they don't give two deuces if you live or die. They don't care if they don't care. That's just how it is. They don't give. They don't give. They're like, meh, you can go over the cliff or don't. It depends if I want to giggle or not. So, I am not one of those that creates fairy gardens. I'm not one of those that collects fairy statues. But some people enjoy that energy, and there's nothing wrong with that either. So I'm not saying bad on you, good on me. That is not what I'm saying here, guys. So I hope you're not hearing that. I'm just saying that some of us look at it different. And some people love the Fae. Man, they love the Fae. I just don't play. Homie, don't play. But I went back. So we went back 4 years later. So it was the first castle we ever stayed at. And then we went back to basically say goodbye at this point to this castle, these memories. And we went back. And I didn't think I would see them again. And I ended up seeing them a second time over the castle wall in the fields. And it was really cool. Yeah. Let's see. I am very cautious walking out and about, never had been drawn into by the Fae. Yeah, the same here. I'm fairy lover, scared to do the fairy garden. Yeah, I just don't know that we should be saying, hey, come hang out with us, Yeah, come on in. Just come on in. Again, I don't think we know everything. I think we like to pretend we know a lot. In the paranormal field, I think that a lot of people are like, this is fact. And you should be very careful if someone says this is the fact, because the fact is we don't know the facts. We have ideas and we have impressions, and those ideas and impressions are caused by thoughts and information that is gifted to us, and then we create that reality. So yes, outside is okay, inside is not. There you go. And so, and the fairy really there is a umbrella of the jinn, the fae. So jinn, the genie, the jinn, the fae, the fairy, and the she, that all kind of are under the same umbrella. And there's others. But all have a job, but do like to sirens, another one. So all of these like to play with their food. That is the best way to put it. And our emotions and things like that are the food. That's yeah. Hey, Sarah, nice job there. Why, thank you. Thank you so much. But it is true. That's my truth. That's my truth. And so, yeah, it's the same thing, a lot of times, and we'll talk about this next. How about, so next week we will talk about, we'll look at the idea of the jinn, the genie, and talk about what it feels like and what you experience around that. We'll definitely talk about that next week. We will keep talking about these amazing stories, which I can't believe I've had, which I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for these experiences. I'm not saying that I shouldn't be careful. I'm very grateful. With the Fae, it depends if they are seelie or unseelie. All great information for me to take on my trip. Thank you. You're so welcome, sweetheart. Just had a thought, kind of like a wild animal, fox. Exactly. The fox doesn't care, even though it might show some emotion, it doesn't ultimately care. Do you have no way tell? You have no way to tell. Okay. I've had a couple other experiences, but just want to coexist peacefully. Again, that's a human thing. So a human is going to be like, absolutely, I want to control this situation and I want it to be safe and I want everybody to live happily. And I was the exact same way until I met Barry Fitzgerald. And when I met Baz, he made it very clear to me that we as humans do that. We tend to be very loving and caring and compassionate, and they play on that. So always be careful of that. And, if you hear a woman crying, make sure it's a woman crying. And if you hear a little boy crying, make sure it's a little boy crying. That's all I'm going to say until we get into the mer people next week. We'll talk about the mer people and the, I don't have any, I do have one experience with one mer. And we can talk about that. And I have no experience with the genie though, or the jinn, but I can tell you what I know. How about that? I can share with what I know. And sometimes their needs are bad for you. Yeah. I don't believe they are good or bad. Just one. Yeah. They are very, yes, concentrated on their own needs. They're a little, no, I'm not going to call them narcissists. They're little narcissists running around. No, it's not like that. But yeah, it's, it's honest to gosh, it is though an experience. And one that I will never forget. And one that I will never, I hope I never get to a place where I disrespect that energy, because we definitely, I love how it's being said, like, we don't need to disrespect, we don't need to be rude, we don't need to be unkind. Yeah, right. That's very true, Jen. Very true. Yeah, and it just, again, emotions are emotions. I'm a very emotional person, so I call in very emotional, wanting to eat energies. I'm good at it. What can I say? So, all right. So let's go ahead. Let me see if I can. Oh my goodness. Did I not bring a deck of cards to my desk? As you guys can see, I redid the office. And so, so I don't have a deck of cards. So that's not going to work. So you never do this. It's not professional. Never walk away from the computer. It's not professional. All right. Here we go. Here we go. It's never professional to walk away from the camera, just so you know. All right. And you're supposed to have really good lighting, which I think this is really good lighting. Here we go. Let's look at today. Let's look at today. Let's look at today. This week is all about peaks of joy. Look at that. Peaks of joy. Peaks of joy. You know, guys, isn't it weird? I'm just going to just tell you what I'm getting. But the reality is, it's just like, why do things have to be really, really good in order to be good? Now, I'm going to say that again because that may not have made sense. But why do things have to be like super, 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 super good? Things are just good all the time. If they're not good all the time, look at your surroundings. But they should be good. Like, we should be in a place of good. You deserve to be in a place of good. Now, peaks of joy, rock on, crouton. Like, yes, let's get there. Let's have these amazing opportunities of peaks and joys. But ultimately, guys, I do want to say that to each and every one of you friends out there listening today, I want you in a place of joy all the time. Now, stuff goes wrong. Yep. And things go bad. Yep. But I want you to be able to rebalance into the good. And so how do we get there? Sometimes we collect these peaks of joy. We collect them. So maybe tonight you sit down and you write out 12 of them. 12 peaks of joy, 12 things that have really moved you in a strong way, that has brought you massive joy, so that when you're having a hard time, you have something to reference. Not somebody else's joy, not watching somebody on YouTube, not watching someone on TikTok, but something that you yourself have experienced that brings you these joys. Life should be good, guys. It really should. Now, I shouldn't should the shit out of you, but for real, like, you deserve good. You deserve goodness. You deserve joy. You deserve happiness. You absolutely do. And you can have it. Yes, you can. Every single one of you can. And if there is a place in your life that right now as we're sitting here together, that you're going, but you don't get it, Sarah. I can't be happy in my marriage. Yes, you can. Well, but I can't. You don't understand. It's very complicated. It's not that complicated. It's not that complicated. Step out of it for a minute and decide that you deserve joy. You deserve goodness in your life. Now, I respect you and I love you, but I know that you can find it. Be it in a walk, in a park. I love you, sweetheart. Be it putting your favorite music on in the car. Whatever it is, start to create some goodness in your life, and also harness those times of pure joy so that when you need them, you can reference them. Because self-help books are great, and jumping on here and hanging out with me is a lot of fun, right? But the reality is you deserve to have those right here for you. So I love you all very, very much, and that is truth. I love each and every one of you. I hope you can feel that. And I hope that you have an amazing week. And I hope you come back next Monday to hang out with me. Thanks so much, Rob, honey, sending you such big hugs. And yeah, we're going to be talking about next week the gin. So bring your gin stories, those of you that have had them. Swim in pure joy, yes. I love the chitty chats too. And I'm going to talk about my one experience with the mermaid. So I'll see you all back here next Monday, sending light and love to each and every one of you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk real soon. Bye, guys.